What's up, guys? Welcome to Sports Talk Worldwide. Today's video, we'll do some. I did the Big 12 Media Days recovery of it. Go check that video. It's uploaded to YouTube where we recapped the Big 12 Media Days. That's why we'll take a look at Media Days. Media Days are on the way. Today, we'll look at the SEC. I think the Big 10 is coming up too. So I will get to the Big 10 and the ACC once they. I usually wait until they post the quotes and analyze them and show it to you guys because it's easy to do. We're going to go, we'll hear from the commissioner of SEC and it goes to each coach. We may go to one or two players from each team. We'll see, depending how long the video is. This will be a long video, so be prepared. From Atlanta, we'll start with Commissioner Greg Sankey. Then we'll go in order of appearance. So we'll start with Monday, July 14th to 17th is when the date. So we'll go in order of dates. So we'll start with Monday the 14th, then we do the 15th, then we do the 16th, and then 17th we'll finish off. So just easy to go in order. We're going to go with quotes. Now this is Commissioner. He's been this is Commissioner speaking at the Media Days in Atlanta. Take us. So we'll go just a few. I'm gonna put out some quotes. I tried to read these before. But we're gonna get to the bottom of it. So usually he gets the thing in here. And I'm gonna start with here. With this stuff. So it starts off saying, ends his speech saying that, look, those of a higher education embedded college athletics know intricacies of what's fundamental, so we're trying to adapt, we profound impact lifelong memories for young players across the nation. If you watch college football landscape change across SEC, we remain proud of what we achieve and excited about the future. The future is not something where we wait for, it's something we seek to shape. We look forward year ahead with new opportunities, new challenges, a new set of frustrations, new faces, new results, and new hope. I think there's this. And then the other thing he says before that is, as I conclude with my remarks, living to a, what is it? Living to transformation moment across college football, college sports. And in fact, if we take back a look at relative change over time, I don't think there's time in the last 100 years where so much change in fun college enterprise as exists right now. It's actually amazing, excited to be considered reporters of time doing what we lead and serve. Let me be clear. My perspective, college athletic is not broken. College athletic is not broken. It's under stress, it's strained as we seek a tight capacity that been Memphis over time. And I think he has a point there. Then he goes into the question. One of them is the House Sentiment, NCAA Sentiment. If you don't know what that is, I'll make a separate video about this, but it may or may not. I haven't decided yet. But basically what the House Sentiment is, the NAL teams can now pay the players. It's the idea where how much you can, I think it's set, exactly that. So I asked about the NCAA Memphis. He said, yes, we have Wild Wings marathons. If those are meetings, we provide lead up to decision. This difficult for us not permit settlement until there's a settlement. Sense. And of course they're gonna, video conference live director, president, chancellor last week. They were talking about the, because all that. So there's a change coming. Because of NL, we'll see how it goes. But for the House settlement, he talked about that. We watched, of course, I think operating sufficient. And we have kind of communication with authors, let to communicate and educate why we think like to begin with. And then the format 2026 schedule finalized. Okay, just say if we say 8, we'll probably be a little easier on the part. Just say we must be consistent in conflict office. We must pretty much ready to go. If you go back to this is it was somebody in the office named Justin to point us out. So I guess the same 8. I know they said if we could go to 9 games and they have to be games moved or rescheduled. I get why you want to do 8 because let's say, but every team, Big 10, do 19 conference plays, so we'll see conference game and 3 non-con. And I think SEC should cut that. Talk about the playoff, right? If it says invite me to a 16 team playoff, I'm walking back. I'm going to possibly decision in the process. 12 was the right decision. It took years, probably ups and downs. As I said, Miller's messy, and the marathon is messy. It worked out well. I mean, it did. We saw the first C12, take the top 12, America for that, went back to colleagues, and I could take top 14, top 16. Because, you could have either 5 plus 7, 5 plus 9, or 5 plus, 11 is how we look at. Again, remember the entire conference will get by in there. So with that, the format again. So there's different questions, talk about, those are two things I want to have. And then there's a big one, is the whole talk about Big Ten as they have control of future format. And he says, we're starting, 4 or 5 days with, Tony Peretti, the Big Ten commissioner. There's notice there's been something happened with expansion. It has to be forced. So there's a lot of talk, but there's no lot of he says there. So that's basically the commissioner point of view. We'll hear from Brian Kelly, the head coach of LSU. He spoke in media days. Okay, we'll go to the question. A little more to questions than with the speech. Even though it's interesting to say what it says. So type of donation, and then we have revenue share NAL annually process therefore put together. I'm saying if something placed relative to veteran NAL is something we have to navigate to. So then type of Gus Meyer, experience, Jane Daniels, Joe Burrow, pass now, Garrett at LSU. I like Garrett Myers. He's a good job last year at LSU. He's going to do good things in year 2 or year 3 with LSU. Defense, he says I said defense coordinator, defense staff, Blake Booker, in my opinion, field defensive coordinator. Tours, I've been head coach at LSU. And not play the kind of defense necessary to win that championship, which I agree. I think look, Brian Kelly and LSU is built to win a national championship. It's going to take a time too. And maybe they could get something going. Of course, the 2020 offense had enough good win championship. I think if they could do something shortcomings and address I agree with this part. Addressing some shortcomings on defense, we have done that. I agree. If they could do something like that, playing team like comes on the road, you gotta be prepared for these teams. And LSU, I can see if Brian Kelly can lead this team to a national championship, I can see LSU winning one on Brian Kelly. So play in state schools, what benefits or bad points. He says when you balance the society bad schedule, I have a bad point of playing tougher schedule, and we get relative to SEC balance, but they also need balance to schedule as well. I agree. Look, point to give players, right? You'll play 12 SEC schools. Now open to opportunities. Instead, we have such passionate debate. Why not play from all state and share revenue? Like Southeast Louisiana, Western Louisiana, or LA Tech, Louisiana Tech. So there's some things to look at. We'll hear from Gus Meyer. I'm not going to every single player, but okay. Or how to LSU team, what I see with about running game, but different. One thing general about team, I think, of course, I've been on LSU as far as brotherhood and camaraderie at locker room. So there. Just ask the question about the future, getting ready for the year. This few point out, as all these questions people get here. First season starter, successful first season starter. What you been focusing on the game? There's no hiding from turnovers. One thing and more understanding. No player and anticipation player to be there'll be some interceptions, and ones I need to eliminate are the ones that don't need to happen. And the ones I'm trying to do too much, and the ones I'm trying to make play when I don't need to. I'm tied to my own growth well. I really like brought into trying to change my body makeup and be able to make doable and make one able to make perfect way. So I agree with that. Good job there. So far you heard from the commissioner, you heard from LSU head coach, and guys, my way from Beam Shima. Well, quick. One thing I'll point out, Beam Shima. One thing is this: I'm all for more teams and opportunity. I want to make sure we have greatest regular season and this sport athletic. Every regular season means something more. You talk about the 9 versus 8 schedule. Okay. Okay. Alright. I think that's the one that. Let's just see here. Well, quite. I'll show you. Okay, that's it. So here for that's a big quote from Shane Beamer. We're gonna hear from Norris, the quarterback. He's the sophomore. He's a really good player. I'm happy for him. He was a good job last year. Obviously, he's gonna do tough. Just big chemistry with these guys up to the field, field leadership guys, younger guys. She was last year. Just make sure we're on good offense as well, and we have a lot of time. All right, let's go. All right, Lane Kiffin, of LSU. I was gonna say this right here. One of the questions they asked him, where is it? All right, but the night game, 8-9 thing. I don't think there's anybody who would trade 9 games. The 9 games want to come play our 8 game. You play down here. Places you play down here. You guys cover the SEC for a while. You can have teams not only have a good year for them, but gotta play at their place down here. It's just different. I give it that point. Okay, let's see here. Right. Okay, that's from Lane Kiffin. We'll hear from Coach Lee, Clark Lee. Let's go here. One of the questions they asked him was this one, which I think is very important. Obviously, level to Professor, what do you think makes guys last year a lot of wins? Well, return production, return people, when the coordinators change the system, don't really change. Does it change? We are going to evolve it like everyone else evolves. Do you know that expectation day in and day out. Last year we tried to figure out formula all to fall camp. I can remember a couple practices where we some conflict we had to go to get the point where we line up and playing in structures. Okay, top of that. We are gonna get to another question I think people want to know about, but let's see if they get, I think they get it. I don't know. I thought they get to that. And then of course Diego Parvi returning. He's returning back, graduated, good job last year. Really good season for Company in Nashville. Quarterback. I feel like put blame himself for every loss we have. It's part of the Texas one. Okay. So that's Monday's. You hear from Monday. You hear from the commissioner of upstairs, Kelly Lee of LSU, Coach Shea Beaman, head coach of South Carolina, head coach of Ole Miss, and Vandy's head coach Clark Lee. So far that's Monday. Going on to Tuesday, we're gonna skip John Maycade, the SEC coordinator of football. He just spoke. I really don't care, but the big thing from him, I'm gonna quickly show you to you. He just talked about his coordinator official, talk about the official BS. Basically, questions he had were here. I'll show you. No question actually. He just wanted to give a speech. There's no question given to him. He was just giving a little speech about things. As time there. But as you see, what if Kirby Smart, the head coach of Georgia, coming in and head coach, look at some questions he's had. Let's see here. You talk about fire, passion, huge pillar program. Yeah, half pick for me for 2 players. And want to them to compete separate themselves for sure. For fire, passion, and energy. Pick a few. I really don't choose to share them publicly today because that could change to as well. Who's working the hardest, who's leading, and who's pushing. Why and fight now? Because culture is comfortable is slowly changing. You got I'm part of 9 program and now year 1 and one of the greatest ever college football, and now in place of doing it right, competing at a high level. Right? Comes back there. Second coach of the day was Coach Hugh Freeze. Okay. I want to bring this out, but let's see if we can get to it. Maybe the first question. Which was no. all by roster improvement you made. It allows you to able to compete for the playoff berth instead of games this season. Yeah, you win those close games. I still believe the playoff run. We're going to be in this discussion because I love this team. I think we had now we're going to stay healthy and we're going to need the ball to bounce our way a couple of times this year against us. I'm sure the full expectation will raise the fact that Auburn should be in those years in year out. At times take to build it, but we're doing that. We've been doing that. Certainly, I wish I could have been more games. We could have won more games a few times, but the future bright in my eyes. But if it would benefit us to win, I expect no less than Auburn. Josh Heupel, head coach of Tennessee. You've been the one fast started offense in the country. Scored 41 last games first quarter. We want to start fast. This ability to apply pressure, but just maybe change the way the game's played in some situation. As the game continues forward, at the same time, it doesn't. You have to continue to play, find ways to scratch and claw back on the right side of it. Part of what we did outside last year, competitive makeup, to play that could be offensively, or maybe three phases played together, and expectation that somebody can go to make a play and make a difference in the game. Which I agree. You can hear from Steve Sarkisian, the coach of Texas. One thing Steve Sarkisian's best in the quotes, I'm going to say right now. But how you have a hungry team back to back players do you? And these are fine lines of what the company looks like in Montreal. I watched the 10 player. I watched the way they work. I watched the way they interact. Another, they watch the way they compete with another. I feel capacity whatsoever to multiplayer. Go that. Arch Manny's last one for the Tuesday one. I feel like a put no guy. I like hanging out with my buddies, take off. I play take football serious. Other than that, I'm just like a guy. Being his first SEC media days. Okay. That was Tuesday. And the last one we'll finish off with Wednesday. It was like the third day, second to last day. Ken DeBoer, head coach of Alabama. Two decades dominated, so talk about. Yeah, I think in their own program, especially be a top expectation. I know at Alabama, by expectation for SEC as a whole, we feel SEC is top song, two song. It's song you find it. We experienced last year. We had games where we showed that they were slim with us, but also back up and play next week. Show every game, every team that you could win any given Saturday. Put yourself as a program as league as well. You're from that. So, later from Ken DeBoer. Jeff Lebby, the head coach of Mississippi State. Mention about family, how much part of when do you think your family, particular coach's life, and role played success? So if you're able to do exactly what I want you to do today, the head coach of the household, that's a very real thing. A person, an unimaginable thing a man can go through. They have a heart to it's fun attack that goes so connected and right in the middle of class chase. Billy Napier, head coach of Florida. Napier coming, talk about previous year expectation. I would say for when we talk about expectation, I think boy we expect from each other. I think we learned that right. Not only to block out noise, but actually to do it. So we think we gotta have high expectations for each other. See each other every day. This player to this player, this player to coach coach, all parts of the organization. It's been a focus, belief that the magic happens right when you look around the locker room and trust the people. I think there is connection. So there's that from the Napier Venables. One thing I say about Ben Venables in his terms of his question, one is defensive improvements you made defensive well. But outside the obvious change, which personnel upgrades you looking for? I think without saying that a lot of guys were screwed up and the guys were still on the roster. A lot of guys were scared up. They know how to play or prepare the right way. Not like it's not on anybody. I don't think that the confidence is probably the most important. It takes a lot. You nurture that, you develop that, you recruit that. Then man, you were restless about changing. So there's that. Last day we're gonna start with Coach Elijah Drinkwitz of Missouri. How do you create culture consistency for rush turnover, especially among upper men? I think that's the way we dedicated put the mission to Homans. Nothing builds cohesion and trust, respect like shared adversity, putting people in adverse situations, see how they respond. Putting 300-pound alignment in a bunk bed, no air conditioning. And thinking one way, so obviously I said Coach Ryan Russell of the Edge program on the first floor preaches and teaches that. Mark Stoops of Kentucky. There's a lot of things we could do. I think there's one of the things we mentioned in group open dialogue. Being attention and voice of say what I can mean by that. Sure, putting things in front of them for the 50 new players coming into campus. How we coming off the field, the ability that comes in the field. One things we do is simple. When people feel quiet, midterm that come in, guys that come in. So that's that. And then you hear from Sam Spitman, the head coach of Arkansas. One thing I'll say is the Arkansas is a decent team. Especially number one, number two, we got 5 football team. We're trying to start the season. As of now, we have a young man to start the season, and as Christ is injured. Got the ligaments and breast surgery. And bone there. Man, basically ask questions about KJ, Jefferson, Tyler, Development, Texas, consider Fabrice, consider Texas viral. Let's see here. Every year under discuss Sam going back. Does it make your job difficult or does it make it more? No. I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna say this once. This is a notification of someone who's constantly having you on this list or this list, whatever is list is recruiting. The only thing and it seems like only factors a bit more because we are the Razorbacks and Seymour. And so there's Seth Pittman and his thoughts there for Arkansas coach. All right, here we go. Texas A&M, Mike Elko. One thing I'll say about this that he's gonna say is this. There's a question about Quebec community retention and rest of players, coaches, but how does that compare to your So, yeah, my Yako, but retention said, some benefit. I went to family video program, work coaching technology, what way people coach, drill work, and all of that. I think helps. I think we were able to do that this year. This is strong for us. It has some stuff in the offseason I really think help enhance what we're doing in our program as well. Also, in order to become the program you wanted to become, we talked about this, we have stabilized it. You have to put all of us together by the end of January last year. I think something speaks volumes when a program is cultural standpoint, on what belief and confidence I think people have with the sector going. So there you have it. Those are some key takeaways from questions that were asked at media days. Some key points, of course, I want to highlight from the commissioner of the SEC to all the head coaches who spoke, and some of the players that spoke at the media days from Monday, July 14th to Thursday, July 17th. Over in Atlanta, you heard from coaches. I did for the Big Ten, Big 12. Go check it out. I'll be doing the same thing I did for SEC and the Big 12 for the ACC and the Big Ten. So stay tuned for that. I'm excited for this college football season 4. This should be an SEC season to see NIL. House name is a big thing. Maybe it's to make that a separate video. What me to do? Let me know. Like, subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification button up. Comment down below and hear from you guys. And I spoke to one else. Sign out. See you next video. Peace.